Hi, I'm John Schroeder, and welcome to another edition of Casey Clips. A frequent question asked by our subscribers to our YouTube channel is how anyone can achieve better results through meditation. The fact is that any dedicated meditator will improve with practice. But what about those who are just getting started? That's what this video is all about, making a connection with the divine within even if you've never meditated before. First, let me say that prayer and meditation are two separate, distinct things. I define prayer as talking to God and meditation as listening to what God has to say back to us. One of the best ways to prepare to meditate is to start with a question you'd like answered. Hold on to that, because I will deal with what question we want to ask in a minute. To actually start the meditation process, open with a prayer. The Lord's Prayer works well, and most people know it by heart. But a prayer of protection, where we ask any less than helpful influences to not interfere in our meditation, is key. And that's what we do in the beginning of that divine connection. The next step may surprise you if you have tried various meditation methods before. I don't believe I've ever heard of anyone else using it, but it works well for me. I suggest you recall from your memories a time when you felt unconditionally loved, completely safe, and perhaps even of great service to another person or people. Focus on the details of that time so that the memories infuse every fiber of your being. When your thoughts are filled with love, joy, and contentment, your mind is ready to connect with God. Our time with God should not make us fearful or sullen. To be one with God in consciousness is a joyous experience, and we should expect it to be exactly like that every single time. Know without question that God loves us regardless of what we may have done. The fact that we desire to reach out to our Creator through prayer and meditation puts us on the prodigal son's path back into the arms of our loving Father. As we sit in the silence, eagerly waiting for God to respond, what should we expect? I was surprised that I most often connected through the normal thoughts that entered my mind. How can you tell the difference between random thoughts and those of the divine within us? We can mostly tell through their content. If you find what you're thinking to be helpful and hopeful, that's a great indicator that we are on the right track. If our thoughts stray to what we might want to eat next or musing over what we want to do this weekend, use an affirmation to refocus the mind back to listening to God. How do we refocus the mind? I use the Great Commandment. The words are, I love God with all my heart, mind, and soul, and I love my neighbor as I love myself. After repeating that silently in my mind, I expectantly wait to receive any messages that God would share with me. Here's where that question I asked you to pose comes into play. Hardly a day goes by that one or more questions don't arise that I would love to have God answer for me. So ask, and then listen to the answer. It really does work, although it may take a bit of practice to trust the process to work. It is our desire to joyously connect with our Creator, and we have faith that God desires to answer all our questions. That is vital to a successful meditation experience. A great way to end our meditation is by sharing the energies we raise after connecting with our Creator. To not release those powerful vibrations raised in a positive way can be disruptive. As with anything in life, we need to achieve balance in all things, including our time with God in meditation and during our day-to-day activities. So how do you share the energies raised? Picture in your mind your family, friends, and other loved ones. See each of them surrounded in the white light of God's love, helping them in whatever way they need. From there, get creative in the people you share it with. How about those that you know who have asked for prayers and healing? What about those who have had conflicts with you in the past and you would like to heal the rift? Then there are the political and business leaders of the world who could always use spiritual support in helping them to make better decisions. Since there is no limit to God's power, see this energy surrounding the world, reaching all souls with exactly what they need. And finally, close your meditation by visualizing the white light being absorbed into the earth and healing the very planet itself. Meditation is a subject that has entire books dedicated to explaining the process in great detail. I'm trying to cover the basics here in just 5 minutes. But if you're still with me, this may well be the way that God has provided to get you started. Edgar Cayce was asked once what method of meditation was best. His answer was brilliant. He said, "The one you will use daily." In other words, it's not so important what meditation techniques we use, as long as we will continue to meditate on a regular daily basis. Anyone who does that will soon discover what meditation techniques work best for them. That's it for this edition of Cayce Clips. Please ask any questions you have in the comments section of this video. We usually answer them within a day. And if you have suggestions or questions we can use to answer in other Cayce Clip videos, please ask them. After all, answering your questions is the purpose of this channel. Until then, remember that God loves you with an everlasting love.